Welcome to the Make a Baby podcast. I'm Carolina Sotomayor, your podcast host and expert Reiki womb healer. Over the past 6 years, I've had the honor of helping over 75 babies come into the world through the power of Reiki. I believe that healing is not meant to be done alone, nor should it be. On this podcast, you'll hear amazing Reiki guided meditations, empowering healing tips, and taboo topics with a focus on inclusivity and representation. Are you ready for these conversations? I am. Let's get started. This is episode 74, Things I've Learned at 40. These are some big lessons that I have reflected upon as I was turning 40, and now my birthday was on Saturday. I am now officially 40, and I'm living my best life. So this is wisdom that I want to share with you. But before we get started, I just want to remind you that we are going to start choosing a listener of the week. So before we jump in, I want you to go, not walk, but run to leave us a rating and review in the Apple Podcasts or on Spotify so that we can continue to rank. We ranked number 235 in Great Britain for in the spirituality category, and we were ranking 35 in Jordan over the past week. So thank you for all of your support and downloads in those countries. We are now global, baby. We're just not in the United States. We are reaching listeners around the world, and I'm so excited with this Make a Baby podcast and our recent rebranding that we're able to impact more and more people. So let's get started. So I have 20 items. Yes, I said that. 20 items of things I've learned at 40. These are more things I'm living by now and things I'm doing and things I'm believing that have really brought more peace, more happiness, more harmony, more happiness into my life. Tip number 1, I trust more than I feel. I trust what I feel more than I think. I said that right. I trust what I feel more than I think. So when I'm feeling something, I'm using discernment. I'm feeling my body. I'm evaluating how I am feeling in my physical body. My body is my compass, and it never lies to me. It will tell me if this is safe or if this is wrong. And I pay attention to my physical body cues. And I can feel when I'm making a right decision in my gut. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my womb versus when I'm making a decision in fear, which is usually comes from not trusting my gut and not trusting my emotion. And I only think about it and I don't show an emotional check-in. I'll make the bad decision. I'll make a decision from fear. So I do trust what I feel more than what I think. Number 2, the more I rest, the more I trust myself, the more money I make, and the more magical life gets. This has been so true. When I recently had a coach, and she was great, but at the end of the container, I just knew that I was done and I was ready to fly solo. I even ended the coaching container like quicker than it was supposed to. And I was like, I'm ready to fly solo. I'm ready to trust my energy. I don't need a guider anymore. And it's cocky. It's just that I've gotten so good at reading my energy, and I'm so honed in on what I want to do and what I want to do in my business and how I want to serve the world. Isn't that the story of entrepreneurship? That no one's going to know my business, my soul, and what I need to do better than me. So, and during that time, I've learned to rest more and trust myself more. And then I saw my sales skyrocket. I saw more women sign up for the membership. I've seen more women sign for the Next Level Fertility program. It was crazy that when I took some time off, I was still posting on social media with my team because I have a team of VAs, virtual assistants. I am supported. The more money I made in my business, the more magical, the more grateful I was, the more I trusted myself. It was also like everything just felt more amplified. The world got more colorful. The world got brighter. And it was because I had more space. There was no more fear. It was just all like up, up, up. And it was great. And that I know that could be interpreted as potentially toxic, but I don't expect it always to go up, but like during this season of life where I'm trusting myself, yeah, this ride is awesome. I'm not also delusional to think that it life won't get hard. But I know when life gets hard, I'll be able to make good decisions. Number 3, never work for a person that has not lived enough. I had worked I have done freelance work, and this is not related to Reiki. And I worked for a person who had never had a corporate job, but they were an entrepreneur and they were very young. And when I brought up and I was hired to help build this person's team and recruit talent for them, but that person was not interested in creating a culture in their company. They made lots of money, but they couldn't keep people. And this is really important. You need to know who you are going to work for. So if I ever went and got a 9 to 5 again, I would have to make sure that that company's values and were aligned with mine, and that there was a good culture and good leadership. Good leadership also means that you're a good person. Like, this means that you're honoring people, and that kind of character can't be purchased. That has to be built, has to be shown through actions, and it has to be evident. Number 4, it's almost never about me. I said it. It's almost never about me. I stopped thinking everything is my fault. This was a learned trauma response from my parents. My mom and dad did the best that they could, but they blamed a lot of things on me. My siblings, I was the youngest, got blamed on. It can't always be your fault. It always can't be also about you. So I had to train my brain to think that that person wasn't mad at me or that I was to blame for a situation. Everything can't be about you. Everything can't be about me. Nothing is ever anything all of the time. Impossible. So I don't think what you might be thinking about. I don't think about what you are thinking about, is what I meant to say. So it goes hand in hand. I'm not obsessing over what you might potentially could be thinking about. If you want me to know how you're feeling, you're going to let me know. Until then, I am operating on the assumption we're good. And I talked to my husband about this because I've given so much thought about this. I was like, how can I get better at conflict? And he goes, well, not many people are good at conflict. I said, yeah, but there has to be a better way about conflict. And he goes, you're thinking about things way too hard. And I said, he goes, if for sure, the safest way to build this is to make sure you have emotional safety in relationships. Preface the relationships when you have lunch with a friend. Hey, you know what? I just wanted to let you know, if you ever have a problem with me, and not that I sense it is one right now, but I just want you to know that I'm open to it. I care about you so much. I want to know immediately if I ever hurt you, because I want to be able to fix it. I want you to come to me. And I have had those hard conversations, and I've built those into my relationships. And I even had it with my mom, and she's never even had a conversation like that with anyone in her life. But I don't want to waste my emotions, my mental capacity on thinking about who's mad at me. So I operate now on a need to know basis. Tell me what you want me to know. And if they don't tell me, then I don't need to know. So I am not going to think or speculate about what you're thinking about. Not anymore. Not anymore. So if you want me to know, then you're going to tell me. I'm going to trust that you're going to be an adult. And I trust that if I have something to say, then I'm going to talk to you in a very mature, kind way. Hey, I didn't like X when X happened. And can you not do it again? Something like that. I am convinced tip number 6 is so evident for me. Time is going by so much faster than it was ever before. I feel like 5 times faster. Like the days and the nights, I think, were quick before when I got married, but now I feel like they're going by 5 times faster than they ever have before. So time is the thing that I want most of, not necessarily money. Number 7, this is an affirmation. I am a powerful motherfucker. I am a powerful motherfucker. I said it. Yep. I can do hard things. I can do big things. I can do things that are messy. I can get shit done. And it's because I am powerful. I can make impacts on people and I can support people. I can support groups of people. I can do an online business management career, entrepreneurship, and I can do my Reiki business. It's because I'm powerful and I believe that I'm powerful. Tip number 8. This changed my life. Literally, I heard this in a TikTok and I saved it, and I am not going to take credit. I don't know who the creator is, but she said, and I believe this to my core, this released so much of burden for me, is if it could have happened differently, then it would have. And that was huge for me. So I no longer feel regret or guilt or shame because it acknowledges that I fucking did my hardest in every situation. And I did my best with honesty and integrity, and that's good enough. Number 9, not every life purpose is a positive one. This is something that I learned actually from a therapy session when I was going over like grieving and like some lessons learned. I learned from my grief from my dad who's passed. And I learned like not every life purpose is a positive one. And I learned that that is needed. There is polarity, the universal law of polarity. You need to live both sides of the coin. And my dad's life purpose wasn't a positive one. But without it, I wouldn't be the partner that I am to my husband. I wouldn't be the present mother that I am to my child. It's because of him that I parent so differently, that I am present. Like the conversations and the way I explain things to my son of like how to do something, not just demand something. It's because of my dad, because I was demanded to do certain things and be certain ways, but was never explained actually how to do it. I'm not a robot, and neither is my son. And I'm super grateful for that experience. Was it painful? Absolutely. But I learned not every life purpose is a positive one. So that one was kind of hard to swallow. Number 10, let people be who they are and believe them the first time. This will save you a lot of time. It is definitely saving me a lot of time. If people want to be kind, believe them. If they want to be assholes, believe them. But believe them the first time. You actually have chakras in your ears. So believe what they tell you. Listen to what they're saying. And they will tell you, if you're actively listening, more about themselves than we actually initially will gloss over. Tip number 11, I don't chase or hold on to people. If they want to leave, I let them. Whether you're blood or your friend or acquaintance or even a job offer, I let people leave if they want to. I don't believe everything. I don't believe I need to have the largest group of friends anymore. I don't believe that every person's meant to be my bestie. I used to think that, and that burnt me really bad. And that's okay to, I think that I'm super friendly and people love me, but it's okay for not everyone to be your bestie. But it's so important to treat every person with kindness and respect until, match their energy. If they're disrespectful for you, then put up a boundary and just move on. The next one, tip number 12, I make great decisions. Point blank, period. I do make great decisions. And that one, when I was like, that became a core belief of mine. When like, I make great decisions. I felt empowered. I feel empowered to make decisions solo. I used to call it, I'm going to make an executive decision. So now all my decisions are executive decisions, unless I need to consult my husband, and then we make a decision together. Number 13, there is always a choice or an option. Healing has helped me see that there's different choices and there's different options to be had that I necessarily wouldn't have seen before. And it's because when you heal, you raise your vibration. So you're going to see, maybe you are seeing things from an ant view, like a little tiny insect ant. And then when you heal, you can see things from an eagle's view, which is high up in the sky. So tip number 14, I'm okay no matter what. I'm going to be okay no matter what. So this is God forbid. My mom passes away, or my husband and I divorce, or my dog gets stolen, or tragedy happens. I know I'm going to be okay. I have proven my resiliency throughout my whole life. It's been written through and through. I will be okay. And I know that. So I no longer fear things I don't know, because I know I'm assuming I'm always going to be okay, because I've always been okay. I've always ended up okay, if not better. Life has sucked. I've gotten hurt. Sure, I gotten hurt. I'm not saying that. But at the end, I've always been fed, clothed, had a home. I've always had money. How amazing is that? I will be okay no matter what. I also know I can always work. So throughout all of this, and I know that I'm strong enough to stand on my own. So there is a sureness at 40 that even if life took a turn, I know I'll be okay. It doesn't mean I won't cry. There might be a fetal position involved where I'm crying on the floor. Sometimes you just need to cry it out. But I know that I will be okay, because I have lived through some shit. And I needed to acknowledge, when I was reflecting turning on 40, some of the hardest things that I've overcome. So if you are in a moment where you don't feel strong, or you feel like, man, where am I going to go? I want you to reflect of all the things you've overcome. I bet you've had a heartbreak, or multiple heartbreaks. Maybe you've had a divorce. A lot of our listeners, unfortunately, have had losses, pregnancy losses. We're going to get through it. You're going to be okay at the end of it. Tip number 15, I celebrate every day. I sold an annual membership today to the Make a Baby membership, and that's a win. But I no longer see wins as big or small. I see them the same way I see miracles. They're not to be quantified. When we quantify things that are big or small, that's ego. But celebrations and wins just are. I celebrate every day. Celebrate, by dancing, by eating a cupcake, by smiling, by singing. Celebrating also allows me to practice gratitude. It allows me to just flow more, see things better. So when we're not waiting to get to the end of a project, we're not waiting to the destination. I'm celebrating every step of the way. Tip number 16, I dance daily. That's right. Your girl is a dancer in my office or in my bedroom, but I'm not dancing. Like, I dance sometimes on TikTok, but not too much. I recently discovered the thong song, Back from Prom, class of 2001. The thong song. I've been playing that, and yes, I'm quite silly, and I think it's fun. And throw back and move your body. It'll make you smile. Tip number 17, I can be everything, but not everything all at once. So I can be a mom, a wife, a Reiki master, an online business manager. I can be a podcaster. I can be all the things, but I can't be all at once. Some days I'm a really good wife, or I have carved out time during a certain, like a blocked off time, and I'm really present. And that's when I'm doing wife things, like going on a date or connecting or planning our next couples trip. Maybe I'll go on a date with my son where we're spending one-on-one time together, and we went to this place called the Makery recently, and that was amazing. We painted a sign for the door. Or like this time right now, I'm recording my podcast. This is dedicated time that I'm allowed to record, and I've allowed myself to record, but I'm not going to be a podcaster probably half an hour from now when I'm putting my little to sleep. So and having the expectation I don't have to be all the things at once has been a game changer. It allows me to be present. because multitasking was created for an IBM computer, not for a human brain, and certainly not for a woman. We can be great at multitasking, but does it make the things done well? And does it allow you to be present and fully grounded in your body so you can experience life fully? No, it doesn't. So, evaluate on what you want to be and how you can be those things, but maybe at different times in your life, or maybe they're in different seasons of life. I couldn't do all the things I have right now when Ollie was under a year old. There's just no way. Life was too hard. He's getting older. He's more independent. I can do the podcast. He wants to play with the neighbor. He's a little bit more independent. I don't have to worry about him choking on something. He can chew his food. So different seasons of life also have different allowances. So be gentle with yourself and don't have too hard of expectations. Tip number 18, you can be a leader. You can even be a mogul without having 1 million followers on TikTok or on Instagram. You can be a leader in your family. You can be a mogul if you to. I have a friend called me. She goes, "You're a mogul. You have a podcast." I was like, "No, no, no." But you certainly can be a leader. I'm a leader in the Reiki industry. I believe that. I was a leader when I worked for the 3 of the top 5 pharmaceutical companies. I was a top performer. I was a leader because I believed I was. I was a leader because I worked from a place of ethics and integrity and wouldn't compromise on regulations. I was a leader because I also was kind to people and I coached them on how to do something. I didn't just demand that they do it. I was a teacher. I advocated for people. I've always advocated for people. So you can be a leader and you can have impact without having a large platform or a platform at all. It's how you make decisions and operate. So you can be a leader in your family. I'm a leader in our family. My husband's a leader in our family. Always learning to be a leader. And a leader is just, what do you stand for and what are you teaching? And what impact are you providing? Tip number 19, my voice is needed and there is space for my voice in the world. My voice is needed. With my stories and what I have survived and with my training, all of it combined, I've impacted thousands of people. And there's enough space in this world for you and for me. There's enough space for me to have created my TikTok account that has over 16,000 followers. There's enough space on YouTube for me. There's enough space on the podcasting world. There's enough space for my website. There's enough space for me to exist in the world. There's enough space in a coffee shop for me to speak to someone. And there's enough space for you. So if you ever feel like, oh, I can't do it, or next year, or I don't have anything to say. Yes, you do. And the world needs to hear it. Now, tip number 20. I am no longer scared to be myself. And this was like an awakening to me. I arrived to this place and I was like, yep, this is it. I no longer give a fuck. I'm just going straight for it. Unapologetically, I am authentic right now. I have felt fearless about being who I am and about what I do. I am unapologetic about what I do, who I am as a person, what I believe, and who I serve. I believe women need more support. They need more healing resources. I believe that my Reiki can change the world. I've never actually said that out loud. I believe that fertility Reiki can help women across the world conceive their babies. And that's why we've created the Healing Mothers Movement, which is a free resource community. This is why I created the Make a Baby membership, which is a paid subscription service where we do live calls and you get more access to me. And then my group program, Next Level Fertility, which is more intensive, and you actually learn to heal yourself with Reiki to conceive your baby. So I'm unapologetic about my talents and my gifts, and that I'm a medium. I talk to people. Sometimes I channel. I'll do a reading on TikTok. I'll be pulling cards, and a client's mom, a person I was reading, their mom that had passed away showed up in the reading. I talk to people on the other side. I'm also an anti-racist, and I believe in inclusivity. I'm also first generation. I'm Latina. I'm mixed. I also believe our womb holds so much wisdom, and that healing is not a one-time event. I believe that healing has to be a relationship that you have to have, because healing is not a one-time event. It's a continuous effort. A lot of people talk about having a money relationship. Should be talking about having a healing relationship. And Reiki is not the only way to heal. I've healed with shamans. I've done talk therapy. I've done hypnosis. I've done EDMR. I've done so many things. I've done acupuncture. I've done trauma, massage therapy. I've done so many different modalities. But Reiki is home for me. So I'm here to serve. I'm here to help women have their babies with Reiki. I'm here to help women have healthier, more balanced wombs so that they are happier. And I'm here also to make this a space where women are included. Minorities, LGBTQ+, every type of couple, because everyone deserves to conceive the way that they want to, and they deserve to be supported spiritually and emotionally and have ethical energy healing provided to them. So those are the 20 things I've learned at 40. I hope that this was helpful to you and might provide you some insight of more about who I am and where I am. And I would just say thank you for being here. And as we close our time together, I want to invite you. This Thursday, we are doing a quantum leap Reiki healing. We're going to take you from your timeline currently, and we're going to raise your vibration, match you to your baby, and drop you into your highest timeline with quantum leaping to that timeline where you're pregnant and where you're visualizing and drafting what is your vision for your future. We're going to match you to that highest timeline with Reiki, heal your blockages, and drop you into that high timeline. This is the first time ever we've done a quantum leap healing ever inside the Make a Baby membership. So we're super excited. It's Thursday, May 11th at 7:15 Central Standard Time. You can take a look at that and sign up using the show notes. And while you're on your phone, assuming you're listening to my voice right now on your phone, go ahead and open your Instagram app. Come and follow me at the Carolina Sotomayor. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to know what you thought of this episode and me turning 40. Send me a DM and I'll shoot you back. Sometimes I'll send you a voice message, but make sure to hit me up. And if there's any topics you want for an upcoming episode, be sure to tell me that too. So coming up next week on the show, we'll be talking about connecting you to your spirit baby and why connecting to your spirit baby is so important to your fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum. We want to make sure that you are focusing not just on your physical relationship with baby, but also your spiritual one. So until next time, friends, go share this episode with a friend who's trying to conceive and let them know what's coming up next week. Until then, let the Reiki flow, and I'll see you here next time. Feeling hopeless in your fertility journey, fearful that you'll never become pregnant? The Make a Baby membership was created just for you, using the exact methods of Reiki that helped me conceive my son. We've helped over 75 babies come into this world by removing blockages from the womb and body with our powerful Reiki techniques. Visit carolinasotomayor.com to join the Make a Baby membership today.